presence of the king. And this was like a big faux pas when it come to etiquette. But but the king nevertheless gave not just West Jersey, but he decided to give this young William Penn 45,000 square miles. And he named it after the dad, Pennsylvania. And it made this young William Penn the largest non-royalty landowner in the world. Could you imagine you being given 45,000 square miles as your personal property? William Penn could have lived like a king almost, but instead this young William Penn, number one, he insists on buying for a fair price whatever land that they're using from the Indians. And so as a result, Pennsylvania did not have the Indian wars that some of the other colonies had, where they sort of, Manhattan Island was purchased by a bunch of glass beads, and these Indians really didn't know that they were trading away the island, And then William Penn decided to open up Pennsylvania for a holy experiment. And the holy experiment was to see if Christians of different denominations could live together in the same geographic area. And so that's why the other colonies, it was one denomination per colony, which was sort of like Europe. In Europe, it was one denomination per country. England was Anglican. Scotland was Presbyterian. Holland was Dutch Reformed. Northern Germany and Sweden were Lutheran. Switzerland, Calvinists. Right? So it was one denomination per country in Europe. If you didn't believe the way the king did, you were persecuted. Well, when they settled the colonies, it was one denomination per colony. So France had Canada, which was Catholic. And you had Massachusetts was Puritan. And Virginia was Anglican. And New York was Dutch Reformed. And Delaware and New Jersey were originally Swedish Lutheran. Maryland was Catholic. And Rhode Island was Baptist. Right? And they didn't always get along. I mean, the Virginia, they'd chase out the Quakers and chase out the Puritans. And the Massachusetts, they actually, they not only burned, 19 women as witches, they killed 4 Quakers. In Massachusetts, they told these Quakers, get out, and if you come back, we'll punish you. Well, they came back. And they chased them out again. If you come back, we'll kill you. They came back and they killed them. Right? So the colonies didn't get along very well. And so William Penn wanted to do this holy experiment to see if Christians of different denominations could live together in the same geographic area. What a novel idea, right? And anyway, and so in Pennsylvania, the Quakers started the abolitionist movement. In 1688, just 2 years after William Penn founds Pennsylvania, the Germantown Petition is passed, which is the first document calling for the end of slavery. So the end of slavery didn't start in Islam because Muhammad himself owned slaves. So to criticize slavery in Islam is you're criticizing Muhammad, and that's a no-no. That's the death penalty to criticize Muhammad. And so in Islam, they enslaved over 180 million Africans. There's only one word in Arabic for African and slave. It's the same word, abid. It means slave, it means African. So every black person, they call them slave. In India, they have a whole caste of slaves. It's a structured society with the Brahmin at the top. They're near divinity in the Hindu beliefs. And the bottom is the untouchables. And so in the early 1800s, you had a guy named